All right, today we're making Grandpa's famous huevos. Need sausage, 2 green onions, or green peppers, 1 sweet onion, 3 cans of Rotel, some Italian seasoning, and fennel, very important. All of these ingredients will make the most amazing Huevos Rancheros ever. All right, first you need a big pot. Okay, so this is how I cut green peppers. I cut that down to the stem, right down the middle of it, and that gives you this little way that you can come in here and grab this piece out. And you just pull all this white crap out. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Like this, and then turn it 90 degrees, and you just chop it into small pieces, like little cubes of green onion or green peppers. See how it makes these nice little.
Yeah.
Okay. What I like to do before I put the green peppers and the onions in is I just put a little bit of olive oil, any type of oil, so you can kind of just get a little bit of moisture in the bottom, so that when you put that in there, they have something to cook in. The way I like to cut onions, there's always like a root part that's kind of hard, and so I take the same knife that we've been using, and I just cut like that root off, and then it kind of gives you like a way to grab the skin and this outside layer, and it just comes off pretty easy. So we got that. Then you just do the same thing on this end and cut this little piece off. Like that. Now look, you got this really nice rings. So if that's what you want. You want to cut. I'll cut this way so you can see. You want to cut along the rings so you get a nice sliced onion. So you just do that all the way across. See how you got these rings? And then you cut this in half. And now to dice it up, you just cut basically perpendicular to the lines of the rings. It makes a really quick and easy way to have diced onions. Put all the green peppers and the onions in the pan with a little bit of oil. Bring them on over to the stove and turn it on high. And you just let it. And what we'll do is we'll let this simmer for a minute. And then we'll come back later and I'll show you, like you'll know when it's ready to put the sausage in, because the onions will turn slightly like clear. Just have to see through them. Okay. All right, so we're getting some sizzling going. So I'm gonna turn the fire down a little bit to like medium high, just so we don't burn this stuff. And then like this little flat spoon, just stir it up, get the oil kind of spread out so it coats everything. So that already smells good, doesn't it? And then we'll just let this keep going and stirring it every few minutes so it doesn't get burnt. Onions are starting to get clear, like you can start to see through them kind of a little bit. It's only been about, I don't know, 7 minutes since we put them on. You take your sausage. I like to use the Jimmy Dean. And you just take it out of this wrapper here and throw it in there. And just start chopping it, munching it up in here. It's kind of a big blob right now, but it's like anything else, it'll start to break down once it gets hard. Okay, and just let this sit, and then just keep stirring it and chopping it over next few minutes, and it'll start to brown up, and you'll start to see it looks like where it's cooked. Okay, so we're starting to get some good aroma going here. The sausage is still pretty raw, but just want to keep it on the hot part of the pan. So the pan on the bottom is hot, so you gotta make sure that you're mixing it up and getting the sausage on the bottom. And this is the time that we're going to add some seasoning when the meat's still cooking. First we're going to add Italian seasoning. So I just put a nice healthy amount in there. And second is the secret ingredient, fennel. So the way I like to do this is I put a bunch in my hand like this, and then I kind of squeeze it and mush it up with my fingers. These are like seeds. But this is a awesome, subtle thing you can do to make it taste super good. Just throw all that in there. And then you always want to add a little bit when you're cooking, just a little bit of salt and pepper. They go together like compliments. You don't really taste them, but it makes the flavor of the food come out. And just keep stirring. See how that sausage is starting to get brown? Okay, so the sausage is done. There's no pink left. It smells amazing. And it should be kind of hard to the touch, like that. Break it apart. So the next thing is, I add Rotel, which gives you the rancheros of the ranchero sauce. So this is a double batch, so I'm using 4 cans, but you can, if you cut the recipe in half, you can only use 2. All right, now you want to stir all that up. And it smells very tomatoey right now, but this is when all your work is done. Get this nice, pretty red and green and sausage, like that. And put this on the medium low and cover it and just let it sit there for like an hour. And you are done. So this has been simmering for about an hour. It looks wonderful, smells amazing. We got our eggs here, and I actually covered how to cook those in a separate video, so you can check that out on my channel. Fluffy scrambled eggs every time. So you just spoon up your eggs. This is for the Huevos Rancheros. I like to use a spoon with the holes in it so I don't get too much juice. And just cover those eggs with a nice portion of that, and they look good. And then a couple of tortillas, and hit it with some of your favorite hot sauce, and you are ready to go for an amazing Texas breakfast taco meal.